This is an overview figure of tetanospasm, which can be found in section 1 of bacteria. When a foreign object with tetani spores punctures the skin, the organism vegetates at the wound site and produces tetanus toxin, or tetanospasm, which you can see right here. The toxin then travels through the motor neuron from the periphery to the anterior horn of the spinal cord, so like this. This type of movement going from the periphery to the spinal cord is known as retrograde movement, which hopefully makes logical sense. If the movement were going from the spinal cord to the periphery in the opposite direction, this would be known as anterograde movement. From the image, notice that a cross-section of the spinal cord is shown, and right at the anterior horn, you can see the motor neuron and interneuron. I've shown this whole part zoomed up right here, so it'll be easier to see. So here is the motor neuron, and here is the interneuron. The interneuron is also known as a Renshaw cell. Once the toxin reaches the anterior horn, it travels from the motor neuron to the Renshaw cell. Notice that within the Renshaw cell are vesicles containing the neurotransmitters GABA and glycine. These vesicles normally interact with snare proteins, which you can see right here. The snare proteins are responsible for releasing GABA and glycine into the synapse, where the neurotransmitters can then inhibit the motor neuron. However, when tetanospasm enters the Renshaw cell, it cleaves the snare proteins, which prevents the release of GABA and glycine, which we've shown right here with this inhibition sign. So by decreasing GABA and glycine, the muscle becomes disinhibited or overly active, which is why the muscles are overstimulated, resulting in increased muscle tone. Okay, now that you understand the mechanism here, let's return to the image and help you memorize these details.